Fair
Eric
enough.
Devendorf, defend yourself. We have Eric Devendorf on the line. He was on the call last night. Multiple people have said that you called out Judah Mintz last night. Is that true?
Oh, I don't know if I called him out. I just, what I saw was happening, that's what I was saying. So I think a couple of times he was playing Ole defense and just letting his man drive right by him. And then the other times, I think early in the second half, that's the time for him to try to get everyone else involved. We know he can get his own shot at any time, but to be a good team, you have to have your other, your guys involved and, get them going. So that's all I was pointing out. It wasn't, anything against Judah. And I said a bunch of good things about Judah as well on the broadcast. So, it was just me speaking to what I saw on the court.
But he had 4 fouls last night also. You think that played into the level of defense? He was in foul trouble in the first half.
Yeah, but, a lot of those fouls were just silly. I could look at one or two, but I think one he had, in the backcourt where he tried to reach and got a quick one. Then he had another one like that. But either or, you have to play defense where you're keeping your guys in front. If they're going to continue to play man-to-man defense at a high level, and you keep letting guys go by you, it's just going to put too much pressure on the big guys to have to block the shots or alter the shot every single time. And then, sometimes the rotation isn't going to be there, when they drive by. So if you can keep your guy in front, I think that's what you should try to do.
Yeah.
He didn't do it to the best of his ability. He's better than that.
Yeah, and that 4th foul, that can't happen, obviously. And he knew coming out of the locker room he had 3, and, that's one where he's got to kind of let that one go and stay out on the court. I will say this, Eric. So normally I'm at the games. Last night we had our Orange Nation football show at 7, so I watched the entire game start to finish at the studio. And I just want to say you're really good. Like I know you've been doing this, and I've caught like bits and pieces here and there. You calling these games. I really enjoyed it last night. I thought you did a fantastic job. So I just wanted to say that.
Suck up.
No, I'm being serious.
I appreciate that.
You have my utmost respect. You did anyway, but hearing you call the game last night, I thought you did a fantastic job. With that being said, what were your takeaways from that game last night?
Well, I think the first, maybe 12 minutes, it was great. The pace was awesome. Defensively, I think, they were up and in them, causing turnovers, and that's what the Syracuse team needs to do. They have to get their defense into easy buckets and transition, and they were doing that early on. But I think as the game went on, the energy, there's energy lapses, and then you saw New Hampshire start to get a little bit more comfortable, get in the lane, hit some open shots. And really for the rest of the game, I think when they went to zone, that helped them a bit in the second half. But, other than those first 12 minutes, the energy wasn't there. If they could put that 12 minutes into 40 minutes, and then they have something going. But, I just think going forward, they need to be more consistency in the game instead of just playing in those patches.
All right, Paulie and I were talking about, Paulie asked me earlier what my biggest concern is about this team moving forward, and we actually had the same thing that was at the top of our list. What is your biggest concern? Curious if it's the same thing. What's your biggest concern about this team?
I don't think right now we have enough shooters.
All right, yep, that was it. You're right there with us, yep.
Yeah, I just think for Judah and JJ to really excel, they need guys who can hit those open jump shots to keep the floor space for them to be able to get in and drive and make plays. You look at Judah last night, and I said it on the broadcast. If he's going to go in there every single time and have to finish over guys and contort his body, and that's hard to play like that throughout the whole season. Like, you need some times where you can get in there and just get a dunk or, a drive and kick and some easy buckets in half court if we're not getting those in transition. So I just think, they have to be able to have guys on the perimeter to space the floor. And then obviously, defensively, Naheem has to be a presence in the middle. And then if we're going to play man-to-man, you got to be able to keep guys in front of you. That's going to be a big thing defensively for us because we have the depth to be able to do it and throw guys at you. But now they have to be able to keep guys in front, get steals, get deflections, and then turn that into, fast pace down the other end and get easy buckets. Right now, I think just in half court, they just don't look comfortable enough to be, to execute. There's a lot of side to side and, real indecisive in the second half. Besides Judah just putting his head down and going and trying to make a play. If they're going to do that in ACC play, they're going to struggle.
How much can you take out of this game though? You figure they'll figure it out. It's only game 1.
Yeah, we talked to Coach Red, after the game, and he's been doing a lot of different lineups and just seeing who's going to be comfortable in this role and who's going to be accepting of it or whatever it is. And I think they were able to do that through the first couple exhibition games. Obviously, it's going to take some more time, through non-conference play, but they got to figure it out right away because they go to Maui and they play Tennessee and they play those teams. They got LSU at the end of the month. I mean, they got to figure it out. I think defensively is the first thing that you really have to take care of. Like, all right, this is our roles. This is what we got to do, boxes, elbows, whatever it is. And then offensively, we have the talent to make some noise. Again, they just have to be able to space the floor because if they can do that, they're going to be way more effective.
What do you make of Caleb Copeland's game? Coach Saddlein last night, I've said this a couple times, said when he's got the ball in his hands, something's going to happen. It's either going to be good or bad, but something is going to happen when he's got the ball in his hands.
Yeah, you know what? I'm a big fan of Quadir. I know, his decision-making at times isn't the best, but I think he has a year under his belt. He's going to make better decisions, but he's a guy who's he's having fun out there on the court. And it's refreshing to see. He's having fun. He's laughing. He's smiling. He's talking a little smack. And I think with an improved jump shot, he could be even more effective. I mean, he's a guy who can get to the rim. He can bring the ball up. He has great vision. I think defensively he has good instincts. He's a guy that can get deflections, get in the lane. We saw last night with Judah when the dump off to him and he dunked it down the middle. So he's a guy that if he can really lock in and focus, because sometimes you could even see it on the court, he kind of loses focus and just it plays a little bit too loose. But if he can lock in and focus, he's a big-time talent, man. He could do a lot, and he could really have an impact on this team.
What do you make of Benny Williams being out? What's kind of your take on that situation? And, Justin Taylor, I think we can all agree, has stepped up and made the most of the opportunity. Do you think that when Benny gets back, he's got a starting job, or do you think he's been replaced at this point by Justin Taylor?
I don't think he deserves to come back and start. Whatever's happening, it's unfortunate, because he's in his junior year. He's a guy that I think people were excited to see this year to have a breakout year. So you go through this early in the season, it's unfortunate, but, Justin is earning his minutes. He's a guy who could knock down shots. We mentioned we need that to space the floor, but also he's a guy who has a good body. He can get in there, play physical, get some rebounds, and he's a solid defender. I mean, he could do just what Benny is doing, even a little bit more. So, just with everything going on, I think he's earned it. Benny has to earn his way back up when he gets back, and we'll see how it goes. But if you ask me, that's my thoughts of it.
All right, we're running a little short on time here, Eric, but I do want to give you a chance to talk about the foundation, the Ed23 Foundation that's been established. What can you tell us about it?
Yeah, so we just established it in August. We got all the paperwork done, so we're good to go. Our first event out of the Ed23 Foundation will be the Turkey Drive on November 18th, and that's over at Wilson Park in Syracuse. We're handing out 500-plus turkey dinners, and then we're just going to have a lot of events to help raise money so we can continue to, do these type of events in the community, like the Turkey Drive and, Sneaker and Cleat Drive, things like that. And, we partnered with Latavius and a bunch of other companies are supporting the foundation. So it's just the beginning, but I'm excited about it. We're going to be at the Syracuse Crunch game November 17th, and they're collecting, canned food and non-perishable items the day of the game. So when you go in, make sure you guys bring your canned good items if you're going to watch the Crunch game. And then I'll be dropping the puck during the game to begin the game, and then they're also handing a check to the foundation at intermission. So a lot of good things going on, and just trying to get the word out and continue to do good things in the community.
All right, that's awesome, Eric. Keep up the good work in the community. Keep up the great work. When will we hear you again on another basketball game?
I'm telling you, I wish I could do it on the regulars, but whenever they call me, right now I'm the sixth man, Steve.
You're always ready, though, right?
He'll be on every post game. We're doing a post game every game this year, but Canisius. So he'll be on every post game if you want to get Eric's take.
All right, I look forward to that, Eric. I think you and I are together sometime next month, so I look forward to that. Be well in the meantime, and I'm sure we'll talk again soon.
Absolutely. I appreciate you guys.
All right, Eric Devendorf joining us here on the show, and with that, we'll hit a timeout when we come back.
We're trying to take him off our airways. What are you doing?
He's great. He's really good at it. I don't know if you had a chance to watch the TV broadcast, but
we got him post game every game.
Can he do both? He can come late to the post game.
You're not helping.
John Schmelk joins us next. We'll switch gears. We're going to talk New York Giants football on the other side.
And when he can't do it, Chris Joseph will fill in.
Excellent. Back after this on ESPN Radio.